Hey everyone. Well, it's been a little while since I've done a video, probably a little over a week maybe. I think I did one last Saturday. I've just been so disheveled with all that's been going on in the world and the coronavirus and just, trying to stock up the house and just being overwhelmed with, not knowing about like my husband's job and just all kinds of stress. You guys all know, I know you're all there with me. So I've been trying to get myself together. And today I figured I made a marinara sauce and I'm going to be making baked ziti. And so I'm going to be making some meatballs. So I wanted to show you guys today how I make my meatballs. Okay, I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's healthy and safe and all of that. And, let's just try to do some lighter things and just try to make each other laugh maybe and do some normal things as much as we could be normal. You know what I'm saying, guys? All right, so let's get started with the meatball mixture, okay? All right, right here I have 1.5 pounds of 80/20. Okay, that's what I use because I feel like it has the most fat in it to make it nice and tasty. Okay, so I'm going to start off with, I told you before I put butter in my meat. In my chopped meat mixture, my meatloaf mixture, it's probably just like a tablespoon or two of butter. Depends on how much you want and how much meat you have. Okay, just makes it so much moister. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put a little bit of onion powder. Again, you guys know that I just do by taste. A couple of circles in the bowl. Some garlic powder, a couple of circles in the bowl. Okay, some salt. Now, I'm not going to put too much salt in because I'm going to put grated cheese in too, guys. So I don't want to overly, to have the meatballs overly salty. So I'm going to do by eye just some grated cheese, any kind of grated cheese you like. This actually is the fresh grated cheese, but I always keep these containers and I put it in here because it's just easier to use than, because I like this container. Okay, so I would say probably about, I don't know, 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of grated cheese. I'm going to put in some dry parsley, guys. I like a lot of green in my meats, in my mixtures. A lot of parsley, a couple of swigs of Italian seasoning. Oh, and I also have basil. I want some basil. Now, you could put fresh basil in. I don't have it today, but I do have fresh parsley, and I am going to put that in. I really do prefer my my mixtures to have fresh parsley. Okay, basil, even fresh basil too, but I don't know. I always forget to buy basil. It's very weird. Okay, I'm going to just cut. This is a great thing to have. This is already washed and everything else, so all I do is just take it and use the shear scissors, which I love. This is such a good thing to have in the kitchen. It came with my knife set, but if you don't have a knife set, just get a regular thing of scissors. You don't have to have a knife set. I like a lot of parsley in mine. I put it in my gravies, my sauces, all of that. It just makes it taste so different and so fresh, guys. But if you don't have fresh, you use the dry. I use the dry as well, like I showed you. Okay. Now I'm going to put 2 eggs in for this amount of meat. 2 eggs is good for like 1.5 pounds. Okay. 2 eggs. And I'm going to put some water. Guys, I put a lot of water in my stuff because that's what keeps it moist. A little breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs, you just, put a little in at a time. Now I'm going to mix it a little with my spoon. Only because, I usually just get right in here with my hands. But I don't know, really I just want to use a spoon. I don't really feel like getting my hands all dirty. But eventually I will because you have to. First of all, I have to make the meatballs. Okay, but I'm going to initially just mix it up with this little wooden spoon to get everything incorporated. And what I'm going to do, guys, and this is only what I do. You don't have to do this, okay? And I don't do this all the time, honestly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little meatball up and fry it like a little drop and put it in the frying pan and just see how it tastes. And if it needs any adjusting, then I could put a little bit more cheese, a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper, whatever. That's how I like to do it. When I make my meatballs, that's how I usually do it. Now this right here definitely needs, I'm going to put a little bit more butter in it. Okay, we did a lot of cooking today. I did marinara, and I also made broccoli cheese soup. I'm going to show you that, show you guys that later when I come back and then make the meatballs. I don't know, the butter really just moistens the meat and just really makes it much more moist and more water. Now, you know, that was probably about about a cup and a half of water. You may think it's too much water and it looks too soupy, but it doesn't. It's really, really important that you that the meat is like almost wet to the touch. That's how you get a nice, moist, soft meatball. I don't like the hard meatballs. You know, sometimes it happens, they fry up a little bit, you know, too much. Now listen, I've tried these in the air fryer and they're really, really good. My husband prefers them in the frying pan, so I'm not going to do them in the air fryer. But the air fryer is really good. If you guys want to put these in the air fryer, put them in the air fryer. You can put them in the oven on 400. You know, it's all up to you. You don't have to fry. It's up to what your situation is and all of that, and it'll come out just as good. And I don't know if you guys know this too, but my father, who used to be a big gravy maker, he used to make the gravy, and he used to make the meatballs, and a lot of times he wouldn't fry them. He would roll them up and put them right in the gravy, and they just cook all day in the gravy. And they just have like a different kind of texture from the gravy. It's not like a hard, it's almost like, to me it feels kind of, like mealy almost. And I prefer frying them and then putting them in the pot with the gravy. But I just like the texture of the way they come out when they're fried. Even if you just want to fry them for a couple of minutes, you don't have to fry them long, you know, in a little bit of olive oil. You don't even have to deep fry it or anything like that. A little bit of healthy olive oil, and you stick them in the gravy. You can do that. That's fine. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put my hands in here now. My hands are clean, guys, so nobody fret. Clean hands, okay? Regardless of what's going on, my hands are always clean when I cook. Okay, oh, see, this is how, I don't know if you could see it, but look at the smush. You see that? That's how I want my meatballs. Now, I'm going to roll up a couple for you guys and show you how I roll them up. I prefer my meatballs small to medium, not huge and not small, but like this. Look at that. That's the size meatball I like that. But by all means, guys, you make them the way you want to make them. You know what I mean? You want tiny ones, you make tiny ones. You want bigger ones, you make bigger ones. There's no exact science, and you can have meatballs as however you want. Okay, it's all up to you. And if one's not the same as the other, who cares? It's gonna feel the same. It's gonna taste the same. All right, so I'm gonna get these meatballs rolling. Then I'm gonna start the pan, and then I'm gonna start frying them up, and I'm gonna come back and show you how I do that and how I make the little meatball to taste before I make all the meatballs. All right, so I'll be back. See you in a few minutes. There you go, guys. Now the meatballs are cooking. Now you see I turned some over. This is how we like them, that color, not burnt, but a little brown. And then I'm going to put them on a tray over here. I have to put a paper towel on that tray. And I'm going to let them, you know, release some of the grease and stuff like that. And then in a few minutes, a little while after that, I'm going to put them in the marinara. Here's the marinara that I made today, okay? We've been eating a lot of sauce and a lot of pasta lately. It's just, you know, it's convenient, it's cheap, it's just a good thing to do, to have. I wanted you to say hello to Jen.
Hi, everyone.
She's going a little stir crazy because of this whole situation. Come over here and you want to show them what we made today?
Look
I made her favorite thing in the whole world.
It's my favorite soup.
Broccoli cheese soup. We're gonna taste that later and see how that is. I hope that came out good. I think it did, Jen. What do you think?
Been good.
So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna finish frying these meatballs, and then I'm going to put some more in. I have a couple more to make, and then I'll show you in a little bit how the whole thing came out. Okay? Bye. And here's the meatballs all done, guys. See? And I actually tasted one. They were so good. And I also forgot to tell you, I did put a little bit in the pan beforehand, and I tasted it, and it was all good. It didn't need any other seasonings. Okay? So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to get the ragout mixture together for the ziti, because I'm making baked ziti. Now, I don't have a tripod yet, so I'm doing this with one hand, so it's kind of going to be a little hard to do this. Okay, so I'm going to put some pepper. Now, this is 2 pounds of ragout. Yeah, my daughter's going to take over. Oh, thank you, sweetie pie. My daughter.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, some salt.
Mommy, can they hear me? I want to say hello.
Oh, you said hello before. Let's just get this done. Some onion powder. Some garlic powder. Some basil. Okay. Some Italian seasoning. Some dried parsley. And I'm going to put 1 egg. Only needs 1 egg to hold it together. And I'm going to put some grated cheese. Okay. And then I'm going to put some fresh parsley, guys. You wouldn't believe the difference in when you use fresh. I mean, you know, dried is fine. It does the job. But fresh just really gives it a different kind of flavor. And I usually chop some up, and then after we make our bowls, like of our pasta, we sprinkle a little bit on our plates. Just so good. It just really is a big difference. Okay, so that's enough. Mix this up. Now, what I do is I put a little gravy in this mixture. I know it sounds weird, but it loosens it up a little bit. My mom always did that. I used to watch her do this all the time, and I used to say, Mom, why do you do that? Because it loosens it up a little bit, because you don't want it really thick. You want it a little bit thinner. You know, not too thin, but... So I'll show you. I'm going to put a little spoonful of gravy to loosen it up. Now this is marinara. Okay, gravy, sauce, marinara, who knows, right, guys? There's a long meatball in here. It fell in as I was trying to get the meatballs over there. Okay, a couple little spoonfuls. Mixing this up. Now after I'm done with this, I'm gonna taste it and make sure that it has enough seasonings. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boil the pasta, and then I'm gonna put all the ziti together, and I'll show you that when I do that. Let me taste it. Clean finger. Pretty good. I need a little bit more salt. And a little bit more grated cheese, and a little bit of pepper. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you guys? This is a big thing. Mozzarella. You gotta put mozzarella in it. So I have a whole block of 8. It was a 12 or 8 ounces. I think it's 8 ounces, 16 ounces. I have half of this, and I'm gonna put half of this in the mixture. Okay. That's an important part. Okay, if you guys want to use light ragout, and you want to use light mozzarella, whatever you want to use, it's up to you. You do it how you want to do it. This is how I do it. Okay? All right. So good. That's delicious, guys. So this is that. I have this going. I have the marinara going. What I'm going to do is, let's come over here. I'll show you how I put the meatballs in while I have my daughter here. I'm just going to put the meatballs in and put it on low. Now, when you mix the gravy or the marinara after you put the meatballs in, try not to be crazy mixing like craziness, because then you're gonna end up with chopped meat gravy, because all the meatballs are going to break up. So just mix it carefully, and you'll be fine. These meatballs are so good. They came out so delicious. Meatballs sometimes can be hit or miss. I make them sometimes. I love them. And sometimes I'm like, they didn't come out as great as I wanted them to come out. But that's just me. I always criticize my own cooking. Everybody else is like, they're delicious, you know. That's just the way it is. Okay, so look, there we go. This is going to cook. I'm going to boil the pasta, and then I'll come back and show you the baked ziti all ready. Okay? All right, guys, so I have the pasta all done. It's in the pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mixture in and mix it all up, okay, with the ragout. Now, I made 1.5 pounds of pasta, and I don't have the whole thing in here because I don't think it'll fit. So if I have to put another one in another little pan, I will, but I think this is going to be okay. All right, so I mixed all this in. Okay. This is the ragout and the whole mozzarella mixture and all the seasonings and everything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to put some gravy in here, some marinara sauce, because it definitely needs, you have to definitely put marinara sauce in it. But I think I'm going to put more of this in here. I think I'm going to use all of it because I think it needs it. You want it to be nice and moist. You don't want it to be dry. That's why it's important that you put the ragout in, enough ragout, and all the seasonings, and then some gravy or sauce, marinara, whatever the heck, whatever you call it, guys. Okay, ooh, that smells so good. I smell the fresh parsley. It smells so delicious.
I love parsley.
Mmm. Jennifer loves parsley. We all know that.
Parsley.
She loves the parsley. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of gravy on it, or marinara, because it definitely needs it. I might add a little bit more pasta to it, guys. Just a little bit since I have it. But that's definitely enough right there. Definitely enough. And it'll be eaten since we're all in the house more than usual. You know, everybody will be eating a lot of ziti this week. All right. Okay. Let's come over here and let's put some gravy in it. Oops, sorry.
Mommy?
I'm busy right now, honey. You gotta give me a second, okay? So I'm gonna put some gravy in it. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put mozzarella on top because I already mixed mozzarella in the ragout mixture. I'm making a mess and all of that. So I'm gonna put some cheese on top when I put it in the oven. Now I'm gonna cook it for like bake it like 375. I don't know, for maybe like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Just, and you know, check it like after a half hour and like test it in the middle, and if it feels hot and if it's bubbling around the corners, then that means it's done, guys, okay? I think that's enough gravy. I don't want it soupy, but I want it nice and moist. And ziti's another thing I make. Sometimes I make it and it comes out amazing, and then sometimes I make it and I'm like, oh, I could use a little bit more ragout. I don't know, it's just hit or miss, but you know, that's what cooking is. Cooking is not a perfect science, and that's the fun about it. It'll still be good, even though it might be a little, you know, not exactly how you want it, but it'll still be good. All right, so I got all this mixed up. That's plenty of gravy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on something in my oven, because otherwise it's gonna probably leak all over my oven, and I'm not all about cleaning my oven right now. So, okay, that's done. Now I'm gonna put the mozzarella on. Okay, we like a lot of mozzarella. This is gonna be so good, guys. Just at this time, what's going on in the world right now, I just need a lot of comfort food. I don't know about you guys, but I need comfort food. I want to make some chocolate chip cookies. I don't know. We're gonna get it going. It's all about comfort right now. We'll worry about our weight later. Okay. Okay, so there you go. I'm gonna put this in the oven at 375 for probably like 30 minutes. And when I come back and show you that when it's done, I'll let you know the exact time that I had it in for. All right, so I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, here's the baked ziti all done. Now, I cooked it for 35 minutes on 375, and it's all done. Now, I'm going to show you my plate. This is my plate tonight. Meatballs and baked ziti. I'll let you know on the next video how it came out. I hope it's nice and juicy, but it does look delicious. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll taste it while I have you here. Let me taste it for you guys. This is really good. One pot dish, guys. It's a little bit of a process, but it's so easy to make. Really good. Look how moist the meatball is. See the meatball? How soft? This is how I like my meatballs, guys. Something comforting and happy to have now with all this craziness going on in the world. All right, guys, try to make this recipe if you can. You'll love it. Okay, hit that like button at the bottom if you like this video and the notification button so you could be notified. Also, everybody stay healthy. Try to amuse yourself with happy things. Watch a funny movie maybe, something like that. And stay safe, guys, okay? I'll see you on my next video.